Ladies and gents, and the rest. Today I'm going to show you the deck for this week. And man, I rarely compliment decks because they're usually the same thing. It's like save pilot, execute, Jane, all this bullshit. But this time it's very unique. It's not going to last for a long time. It's because of these modifiers. It's good. It's just, man, it's a fucking, it's super brain dead, easy points, just exactly what you all like, right? You like 3 points. So that's exactly what's going to happen. Let me show you the deck, but before we start, let's take a look at the modifiers and see what is what. Guard Tower, obviously, everybody knows what it is, nothing special. Gold Rush, double gold, and Stone Bind, we don't care about it really. Gold Rush is the thing that we'll have to do with our deck. We have a lot of gold, which means we can use a lot of high gold cost units, and that's what everybody uses now, right? Today, we're going to be using Ragnaros and this new unit called Ancient of War. Let me go over the talents and then I'll show you how to use it. It's super interesting. It's very, very easy and nobody knows how to counter that. But I'll show you one trick and you're going to know what nobody else knows. Well, unfortunately, after this video comes out, everybody's going to do this, but I don't care. Whatever. This deck was given to me by Mighty Kim. We all know Kim. He's amazing. It has a little change, but we'll get to that. Okay, first of all, we're going to be using Ragnaros, right? So for Ragnaros, we're using Radiant Flames talent because everything else is shit and useless completely. We're not using his extra ability. We'll never. If you spawn fire elementals, that means you already lost the match, so it doesn't matter. Then we are using Earth Elemental with obsidian shards, obviously, because it can do more damage and it tanks more, right? So why do we need Earth Elemental? Because sometimes we will not be able to get to the enemy's core, and sometimes we will need to throw it in front of the Banshee, so the Banshee takes this, not our Molten Giant. And I won few games because, like I said, I couldn't get to the enemy's core, and I just threw Earth Elemental, and this Elemental does way more damage to the core than the Earth Elemental with any other hero, because when the core attacks Earth Elemental, it takes damage from the Ragnaros' trait as well, because Earth Elemental is armored, and you know the armored units with Ragnaros do damage on hit, deal damage when they get hit. So that is sometimes our main damage dealer to the core. I believe two Earth Elementals, if you throw them one by one, can kill the full core, something like that. So it's really, really, really good, and we will need that for a lot of other things I'll tell you later. First time ever, S tier deck, S tier unit, Flame Waker. The reason why we're going to use a Flame Waker, I'll show you. So right here, this is a pretty typical situation. Our Molten Giant is fighting with the Abomination, and if there is, like, usually you will see where the Banshee is, you will see Shamans and Witch Doctors. If you have your Flame Waker attacking Abomination, assuming it's not going to get hooked, I'm just talking about the range, right? This Flame Waker, with the talent that we're using, will be able to hit Abomination and his backline, which is Witch Doctors and Shamans and whoever stands behind. Just this Flame Waker. This Flame Waker, its range grows to so it hits kind of like Deep Breath almost. A little smaller, but it's super, super wide, super long, I mean. So that is why we need Flame Waker. We will not have to use that. Where is my... Okay, there we go. We will not have to use this to attack, only very rarely. Mostly it's for defense, because if somebody gets to Ragnaros, Flame Waker kill, like, one hit, and it's like he hits half of the screen. You know, so it's not like, you know, Murlocs or Dark Spear Troll. It's a really, really good unit. High gold cost, huge range. We use it to defend. Banshee. We will need Banshee because everybody, like I said, everybody uses high gold cost units, and Banshee will be combined with Ancient of War. We'll get to that in a second. And that's why we need Banshee to steal high gold cost units, because it takes forever. Molten Giant takes forever to kill them. When we use a Molten Giant with this Blood of the Mountain talent, Well, technically talent doesn't really matter. It just does more damage on, like, it does damage on death. But Molten Giants, technically you have to spawn Molten Giants. That's your job. That's pretty much all you do. And you cycle through just to get to the next Molten Giant and, spam that. So, and in Banshee, obviously, there's only one talent that everybody uses, Will of the Necropolis. Everybody knows it. So, this is, I'm pretty sure you've heard about this unit and you've tried it. Ancient of War. The level of this thing doesn't really matter because levels always matter, but if it's level 8, it's going to be more than enough to make this deck work. So don't worry about it, even if it's level 7. So obviously we're using this talent Lightning Rod. So when you spawn this thing for 4 gold or more, all the unbound units will be cast on this thing. All the spells will be cast on this thing. And there's going to be a trick about spells. I'll show it to you in a second. So let me show you how first of all, the way that this deck works is you throw Ragnaros and then you spawn Molten Giants and you make sure that Molten Giants don't get stolen by Banshees. The problem is that all the other enemies, your opponents, will have this thing too. And when you cast your Deep Breath to kill the Banshee that wants to steal your Molten Giant, it's going to be cast on this Ancient of War. Now let me show you something about this whole combo. Now I'm going to show you the hardest, like the biggest problem that you can expect during this meta. Here is how it's going to look like, one of the most dangerous things. We don't need this Flame Waker, we just can remove it. So usually, your Molten Giant is going to be fighting some other fat guys like Abomination, which is like the most dangerous thing. And sometimes, 99% of cases, the opponent will have this Ancient of War here as well. Usually Ancient of Wars on this map, they're going to be thrown here. I mean, you're going to have yours here as well, right? Like right here, probably, but because you need to have it so that the opponent does not execute your Ragnaros, right? So it's very important. So the opponent has this Ancient of War, and he throws Banshee like this from here up. So the Banshee starts coming like that. It comes to your Molten Giant and takes it, and there is nothing you can do about it, right? And even if you spawn this Flame Waker, I just told you about, right? This Abomination is going to hook the Flame Waker and kill it, okay? So there is a different combination when you spawn Flame Waker so that Abomination hooks it, and then you spawn your Banshee behind, so it takes it steals either your Molten Giant back or it steals the enemy's Abomination. But we will not gonna talk about it. It's very obvious. You will come to this conclusion yourself. So finally, let me show you what I wanted to show you. So here is a trick. Like I said, if Banshee is spawned from the core and it's coming to take your Molten Giant, like this. Let's say this is your Deep Breath. You use Deep Breath to kill the Banshee. Let's say you go like this, which is the most obvious way to cast it, right? Or sometimes, you want to go like this because the fights doesn't always happen in the middle. So when you cast it like this, it's going to be cast like that. You will see the animation of a blue ball redirecting it to the enemy's Ancient of War like this. Boom. And it's going to cast it like that. So the start of the spell is going to be on the Ancient of War and it's going to be cast in that direction. Maybe sometimes it's a different direction, but I believe it's always like that. In other words, so if I go like from here, it's going to be cast like that. If I go here somewhere, it's going to be cast like that. Okay? Here's how to screw the system. When, let's say, the Banshee is coming like this, and we need to kill her, if we cast our Deep Breath like that, if we do it ourselves, and we just, turn this spell any way we want, as long as it starts here, it's going to be cast the way we want, like that. Okay? So if you do it, in other words, if you do what this Ancient of War does yourself, you will be able to direct the spell the way you want, and you will be able to kill the back line of the opponent. Not only on this map, on any map. That is how this works. The Deep Breath is the only spell that works this way. If you don't have Deep Breath, it's no big deal. Just initially, the deck was... I hope you understand what I just said. So you cast Deep Breath like that, and you direct the spell the way you want, and it's going to be cast the way you want. Now let's go back to this thing here, to the deck. So initially, this deck had... Where is it? This guy, girl, instead of Deep Breath. However, my chat on stream suggested to change that to Deep Breath, so we could kill the Banshee at the backline this way. So that is the original deck. So if you don't have Deep Breath, you can use that. It's going to be a little harder, but in some cases it's going to be much easier, because now your Molten Giant is going to be almost unkillable, okay? I went like this, didn't regret. The talent on Deep Breath doesn't matter. You can go talentless if you want. These things, they don't make any difference. Don't take Double Dragon if you have it. I believe everything else I explained. That is the deck, super easy to use. I'm going to show you the hardest matchups that you can have, because 99% of games ended like this right away. This deck is cancer for Murkai. If Murkai sees that, he's dead. Like, one Molten Giant is going to destroy all the Murlocs, all the Wolves, everything that Murkai uses. Everything. Let's take a look. All right, let's take a look at some games. The first guy is the Emperor. It's honestly, the heroes don't really matter much. What matters is the units that they use. Okay, so we throw Molten Giant first, and then we throw Ragnaros. So now our Molten Giant is like the main damage dealer, main everything. Cycling through, our job is to... Okay, now we have Ancient of War up. So now every spell that's going to be cast will be cast on our Ancient of War. Every unbound unit will be cast on our Ancient of War. Our Molten Giant is coming, and this is like the worst combo we can ever have. Abomination and a Huntress, which means we won't be able to steal Abomination, because it's going to one-shot our Banshee with one hit. One-shot our Banshee with one hit. Right? And the Huntress is going to add more damage, so there's no way we can break this combo, unfortunately. So what I'm trying to do, I'm throwing Earth Elemental so that Witch Doctor will kill himself. But I forgot that he has Ancient of War, so my Earth Elemental flies here. But because of this deck is so amazing, our Earth Elemental is not gonna hit Ancient of War, because it doesn't attack units. It's just gonna go straight to the core. So what happened here, I didn't realize it, but that is actually what's gonna win the game. So right now, as soon as he spawned here, he will just go to the core, and he will hit the core, okay? And you will see that I'm gonna have a little bit of damage on this core, and that's gonna be the only damage that any of us will do to the core. And that's going to win the game eventually. Because right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to survive. I cannot do anything. I'm trying to... I'm throwing Flame Waker first, and then Banshee behind, so the Abomination hooks Flame Waker, and my Banshee is going to take the Abomination, but not going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Too much damage. So what we do is I'm just trying to survive and throw as many... Molten Giants as I can. I'm cycling through, and everything is expensive. That's why I decided to throw one more Ancient of War. Again, I'm trying to use Banshee because I have nothing else to use. Yeah. So flying, and it died on the way as always. It was too naive of me. I'm throwing Earth Elemental on the left side just to do a little bit of damage to the Ancient of War and that and the Emperor Tharzan, because when they attack armored unit, they get damaged as well. And by the way, Ancient of War is an armored unit as well. So if somebody attacks Ancient of War, like whelps, when somebody is trying to kill your Ancient of War, okay, I managed to get one Abomination. So the Ancient of War does a lot of damage to them too. So they kill themselves, the whelps and stuff like that. Okay, I'm trying to throw Earth Elemental, and it gets gets sent to the enemy's Ancient of War. So I realized that I'm not going to get to his core anymore at this point. All I'm trying to do is just survive. I'm saving up the gold. I'm throwing Flame Waker so the Abomination hooks it, and then immediately I throw Banshee so the Banshee goes like this, yeah, boom, and takes the Abomination. Then I'm throwing Molten Giant, and the fight keeps going. That is how we're gonna do it. Like I said, this is one of the hardest games that I've had on stream, and I mean, you're not gonna see this game every time. This is really hard to play against, and look at the way that Flame Waker attacks. So it's right here. It kills things like on the ground, right here. Like if you go follow these footsteps, what's it called? Not the footsteps. Whatever, the stairs. It's gonna kill the things here. That's how far it can hit. So trying to repeat this combo. Flame Waker throwing Banshee, but Banshee is now first. So Matt, Banshee dies, bam. Our Molten Giant, when he dies, he also blows up, which actually helps a lot. Okay. Cycling, trying to survive. I just tried to use Ragnaros' ability. Even that thing gets sent, at least animation-wise, it gets sent to the Ancient of War. Okay, boom. Managed to take one more Abomination. And yeah, that's how it's gonna go. Don't forget that in order to get to my core, he also has to kill my Ragnaros. So my core is completely full, is on full HP. I'm trying to see how I did that. I used Deep Breath the way I wanted because I used it on the Ancient of War right away. That's why I didn't get, it didn't cast in random direction. Okay, using our Flame Waker, hits like truck. Okay, yeah, this just see how it went. It was pretty bad. Okay, but 30 seconds. We just need to survive a little bit longer. Pa 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 pa. Like I said, don't be afraid. It's not gonna be that hard for you. I'm just showing you what to do in when shit gets real. Molten Giant, actually, Molten Giant, Flame Waker. Here, these guys are S tier units. Who could have thought? Amazing performance, especially Molten Giants. They really good on this map. Yeah, see, he's desperate. He's trying to do some damage to my core, but Ragnaros, even to kill Ragnaros first. And as you can see, my units are really low level comparing to the level I'm playing at, right? To the other players' levels. So this is Jaina. This is very dangerous for us. Throwing Ragnaros and throwing Ancient of War. Now, I want you to take a look how he's going to cast Blizzard. Watch. You see this? So, if you cast a spell and the Ancient of War is in the radius of this spell, you can cast spell like that. If you cast spell here, for example, it's going to redirect the spell here, and the Ancient of War will be in the center of the spell. Just so you know. Let's keep going. Molten Giants, like I said, main damage dealer, kills everything. But this guy is trying to kill our Ancient of War so he could spell the crap out of my Ragnaros, and he does kill Ancient of War. So this is going to be... By the way, in this game, I will show you how to... you can respawn Ragnaros and still win the game after that. So what he's doing, yes, he's trying... Okay, I'm throwing a Molten Earth Elemental on the base, and it's actually going to do a lot of damage. So it already did damage to the core, even though it hasn't hit the core yet. Just because the core was attacking the Earth Elemental, it was doing damage. See? So our goal is to keep Ragnaros alive and to throw as many Molten Giants left and right as we can. Again, same thing. Throwing Earth Elemental, and it's already doing damage. Like during the animation of spawning, it's already doing damage to the core. That's how badass it is. And I didn't realize that I don't have Ragnaros in the cycle because I didn't use his fucking ability. So I'm gonna use it finally now, and then the cycle to Ragnaros is gonna start. So that's how bad I am right now in this fight. All right. So now I'm trying to keep everybody away from my core. Oh my god, I love when Flame Walker hits something. Hits so far. Woo! Okay, now Ragnaros is up. Throwing him, putting him back on the core. Alright, throw a new Ancient of War. And preparing to defense. It's gonna be done, like I said, with our Flame Waker. Watch. Watch. Everything is dead. It's super pooper far. It actually hits further than it shows. You just can't see that. You can only see it if there is somebody to hit. Next, try to spawn, especially when you're playing against Jaina. Try to spawn your Ancient of War far from your Ragnaros, so Jaina couldn't hit it with one spell like she did at the start of the fight, right? Okay. All we need to do, like I said, is to keep everybody away from our core. We're already winning the game. Right now it's a very dangerous situation. Again, finally I used this idiotic ability to start a new cycle to Ragnaros. 2/2. Bam. Throw a new Earth Elemental, but my Ragnaros is not up, so it doesn't matter what we throw, right? Yeah, absolutely waste of Earth Elemental. Killing Jaina. Killing both Jainas, actually, so we actually accidentally killed one more Jaina that he spawned. Waiting for Ragnaros, throwing Ragnaros, 2/2. And again, I'm saying it again, this is a very hard, this is a very rare case scenario. Usually it's not going to happen. And a new Ancient of War, which means kind of like an extra HP pool for our Ragnaros. Okay, right now, over time, all we have to do is do as much damage to his core as we can, because for him, it's going to be really hard to damage our core. And all we got to do is just survive. Survive, and not survive, but damage his core. Like this. Boom. This was a great use of Deep Breath. From what I see, he doesn't use Ancient of War, and so we can throw Earth Elementals right to his face, to his core, and get away with it easily, right? All we need, I just want any of my units to get to the core, so the core starts attacking them like this. There we go. The core is being damaged. We just add more from Deep Breath, and the last 10 seconds. Ta-da! All right. And the last game is versus Emperor Thorazan. I forget what's going to be in it, but it was kind of hard as well. Okay. Oh, so we throw Molten Giant, even though we don't have Ragnaros yet. But we throw in the units the way that we would throw them if Ragnaros was up, because we don't have Ragnaros, but we need to, to start building things correctly, right? So don't forget, you need to throw your Ancient of War must cost at least 4 gold. Okay, boom, Ragnaros is up, and we start killing things with our Molten Giant. Don't forget, every time the burning ticks on Molten Giant, the one who attacked the Molten Giant, who applied this burning, gets hit. Our Banshee takes Emperor Thorazan, even though I was trying to take Abomination. 2/2. Huntress is gonna die really quickly because Huntress gets damage from Molten Giant, right? Throw a new Ancient of War, and here again, we throw Flame Waker, I believe. No, like this. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we're gonna wait until Abomination will start attacking something, and we're going to throw Banshee in the Abomination's miller. Okay, here's one more thing. I just threw Earth Elemental here, and it's getting sent to this Ancient of War right here. You know what's gonna happen again? Exactly. My Earth Elemental is gonna start attacking the core right away. So it's actually a good thing that it happened, not a bad thing. Even though I was trying to do to do some damage to these guys, but that is how it works. Okay, I'm preparing the Banshee right here. Okay, boom, they start attacking. I'm throwing Banshee. The Banshee will take Abomination, and Abomination cannot hook in the melee range. Ta-da! Boom, boom, boom. Now we have Abomination and Molten Giant, and we're gonna beat the shit out of them. All right. I hope you don't mind. New Ancient of War, we're just cycling. We don't really need more Ancient of Wars. And our Flame Waker is beating the shit out of everything. Level 8 Abomination. Oh, now we're trying to steal this fire of Emperor Thorazan. okay, now he is showing GG, and that's pretty much how you lose games. This is how I lose games. Like, his score is almost full, but you see the situation, and after that, there's no point to show because the game ended. Give up. That is how it's done, guys. Extremely easy. Just practice for like 20 minutes, understand how things work, what you need to deploy first, and stuff like that, and you will see. Terrorize few more guys for me. I hope you'll make me proud, and let me know how it went for you. If you have any questions, I always answer in the commentaries. So yeah, for this week, finally we have something unique. It's not gonna last forever, I know, but during the gold rush, there we're gonna have some fun. Hey, that's all.